Hey, I just woke up from my dream last night. In the dream, I was at a house, probably my dad's house, and he had picked up something of mine or something like that, and he was like looking over it, and he was happy to do so. He was checking out my work or something. I don't know, but he was, it was like just something lighthearted or whatever. But he was, checking it out and being a father. You know what I mean, showing me love and attention or whatever. And while he was doing that, his wife just came over there and just interrupted our moment. His wife Pat, she just came over and interrupted our father son moment, and she was like, "Hey," and just made up something. Wasn't nothing to be done, but she made up something. She was like, "Hey," talking to my dad. He was sitting down. I was standing up. He was sitting down on the couch, and he wasn't like just super healthy to where he could just get up and walk and stuff like that. And she still was like, "Hey," interrupted us, our father and son moment. "Hey, can you go and get told my dad, can you go and get that book over there on the floor over there?" Like just made up something just so we wouldn't have father son time. And this is something that's went on in my life from the time my dad was with his wife, from 7 years old. I was seven, I believe, or five, whatever. Since my dad, and I'm 40 now, about to be 41 this month. So this has been going on for that long, and it's still going on to where I don't even. My dad is sick. I don't get calls when he's in the hospital. I don't know where they live. I don't, it's really bad. Where we reach out, we send text messages and all that kind of stuff. Me, my kids, we get, ignored. Uh, and now my dad is just, really sick, and he can only basically, you know, be depended on. And, his wife won't even tell me and my children that my dad is in the hospital. Come see him. Like I say, I haven't known where they live for years upon years now. All because I called out this behavior that's in this dream. I called it out of how my stepmother has treated me all these years and made me, be the outside kid that is never accepted in their home. Uh, it's they, it's even been influenced on my two sisters, my only siblings in the whole world, to not believe anything that I'm saying about how I was mistreated, was treated like an outsider, like I said, never accepted. I have examples I can look at my kids and their siblings from my kids' mother's previous marriage. They have, a good relationship. So I've seen Shaq's stepfather step in and be his father, you know, like for the father that he was missing. You know what I mean? Like it's some step parents that come in and be like an additional parent, like it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Or at least just stay out the way. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have to be, like I say with my kids. Like you don't have to be they parent. My kids is grown almost. My daughter's still a young lady. She's 14, but she's a big girl. I don't need no woman coming in raising her. She can be a good example just by leading by example. But I don't really need I don't need nobody raising my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. I have a strong, very involved, giving, loving mother. So I never needed a second mother to do any of that. I just needed her to stay out the way. and let me and my dad have a relationship. But all my life that has never happened. I have inheritance from my grandparents. My grandparents were smart financial and business people. My grandmother, my grandfather, like I've been cheated out of every inheritance, period. And my sisters, nobody, they don't care. Like, it's like, why are you complaining? Why are you, anything that my grandparents had, they sold, you know? Yeah, it's in your possession to own, but damn, like, y'all had to just sell everything and then just, you know what I mean? And if you look at it on the overall scale, you would say they sold everything and basically liquidated everything to where I wouldn't be a recipient of anything. Like when my father passes, unfortunately, I don't want him to. Like there will be no inheritance for me. You know, back in the days, a man who whose father didn't create a legacy, a financial wealth, generational wealth, like those sons they were not desirable to be married to because they didn't have money. You have to go pay. You have to pay the father to marry. Back in the day, you had to pay the father to marry the daughter. So there's no, so there is no, you know, no leeway on that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, still not to this day. Even though it's kind of like silently not said. Like if you don't have an inheritance, you know what I mean? You're not as appealing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have you know. And then if you ain't just, if you building from the ground up, the shit don't look good. Like, I didn't have I didn't have a head start as a father being there for me and providing that financial blessing. You know what I'm saying? I've had a father who's been providing, and I don't know if that's from the system of things or however this world is, providing poverty. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't did he because of his decisions hasn't. Well, hey, I don't know what they got going on. They might be fucking millionaires over there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because even if they were, my kids would still be over here, and me and my kids would still. If they was sitting on a million right now, my dad, his wife, my sisters, I wouldn't know, and me and my kids wouldn't get no benefits of that. And for some reason, like me as a man, just if I'm sitting on a million, I guarantee you, my kids that was like if I had kids outside of my home, they still gonna be eating right. I'm still gonna make sure they good. You know what I mean? And so from the beginning of this dream, like I said, the reason that didn't happen is you see the influence. My dad was ready to be a dad. That's what I saw. That's what I see in the dream. He was ready to be a dad. He wasn't tripping on me. He loves spending time with me, talking to me. But then when, his wife just out the blue just interrupts us, you know what I mean? Hey, Dennis, you basically without saying. That's what I was telling my sisters. Was telling my sisters that she did passive aggressive behavior right in front of me all the time. Stuff just like this. Like I guess she thought as a kid I didn't understand, didn't recognize, but I'm like really extremely smart and like I was extremely mature as a kid. Like I'm just very, very, very smart. Like I don't know how to explain. I'm a genius in some areas. So I understood fully, like, you're interrupting me and my dad's time on purpose. There's nothing that you couldn't have went and go pick that up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you made a situation where he had to stop spending time with me to go do that, And I, like, for some reason, like I said, I tried to explain that to my little sisters, Shay and Casey. They don't want to listen. They have also stopped talking to me. Just when I was trying to explain, then not only that, got nasty. My little sister, Casey, got just nasty with me, talking crazy to me. My son became a insurance. You know, he sells insurance. You know, so we proud of my son for accomplishing something. He became a licensed insurance agent, and we proud of him. You know, I tried to share that with my dad, and you know, hey, if y'all need something, you know what I mean, holler at us. We got it. You know what I mean, insurance. And he and next thing I know, and I knew I be knowing, you know what I'm saying? I be having feelings, and they be right. You know what I'm saying? Even if people not saying stuff, I be knowing stuff is going on. I was like, man, you know what? I was like, I really don't even want to tell them because you know they always just be thinking stuff is funny. I don't even want to tell them that you an insurance agent. You know what I mean? Because they just be acting funny. They just be thinking somebody. You know what I mean? It's just weird. I'm like, why wouldn't you be proud of your grandson? Why wouldn't you be? And that's Pat too. That's your. If you're my stepmother, that's Elijah's your grandson, your step grandson, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you be proud of him? Like, why would the narrative be that we're trying to get over on y'all? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm telling you, my son, I'm proud of my son that he is, you know, became a licensed insurance agent. You know, and my little sister Casey was just talking bad. Don't contact my dad unless you really trying to come see him and come visit him at the hospital, or like take him to his medical appointments. And I'm like, okay, so I see how much you're in the dark, Casey, because I've done those things. I've given them money for bills when they like basically they don't call me. It used to be to where they didn't call me unless they needed something. Like I was a last resort. Like, oh, you know what? Let's we ain't got it. Let's, you know what? We don't deal with Blake at all. We don't, you know what I mean? Like when it comes down to it, but we need something right now for our family. Let's call Blake and see if we can use him. That's how I always felt. You know what I mean? And now I see the way that it's going, that's what it was, because you're telling my siblings, my only siblings in the world, Shay and Casey, you telling them that I don't come around at all. I don't help with these doctor's appointments when I know that my dad and got circulation surgery and different things like that. I've taken him to, you know, I've picked him up from appointments and this and that. Matter of fact, the last appointment that I took him to, they didn't. My, my, that's when I told my sisters and my mom about. I mean, told them about it, and they. That's when I told them about it. Told them about my stepmom and how she treated me and all those things. I finally revealed that, and ever since then, I don't know where they live. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like they don't barely contact me, you know, all this kind of stuff. You know, it's like became the villain because I exposed how their mom treated me, which is kind of crazy to me. Like you would think that people would be supportive, but they went behind me like every other, you know, people that's like that lie, don't want to be actually exposed. And she went behind me, and or my dad may be involved in this too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? And the narrative is that I'm the problem. I'm the reason. I don't come around because I just don't come around. Not that I was mistreated and decided to not come around anymore. You know what I'm saying? My dad, like him personally, I'm talking about his wife, but him personally, you know, God gives me these dreams and he be like, are you crazy? And, you know, you got all these big lofty dreams. What are you doing that for? You need to go just work a regular job. I don't know why you got all these lofty dreams. You know, my dad's smart. He a real smart dude. Like intelligent. Like, you know, but He talks intelligent. He's well spoken. I mean, his mom was an English teacher. You know, he grew up privileged. Shit, went to Pascal. Yeah, shit. Damn near grew up like a white man. I mean, like a white guy. You know what I'm saying? Basically had rich black parents. All kinds of blessings, and he just, you know what I mean? Just decisions, you know what I mean? So I look at my dad as, you know, somewhat of a cautionary tale. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's not in good health. He got Alzheimer's, you know, dementia. He got diabetes, stuff like that. So it's like, I know I want to, whatever partner I pick, you know, my wife, I have to make sure I have a wife that loves my kids, loves me, you know, ain't on all that jealousy, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta have, she gotta have all my time, and I can't never spend time with my kids. Cause actually, you know, now that if I get with another lady, get married and stuff like that or whatever, and have kids, you know, I would actually be in this situation as far as having outside kids outside of our kids, and her having stepkids and whatever. I would actually be in that position. You know what I mean? So I gotta be cautious, man, and choose right and make sure everything is good. You gotta think future wise. Shit. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.